Breckenridge here to announce Dominique Renew Productions brings you classic entertainment in a modern world and in a vintage manner with the cast that's keeping the golden age of radio alive and a day in the life of Hollywood 1930s. With the voices of Dominique Breckenridge as Betty Gray, Jasmine Lofton as Rachel Ellis Hagen, as well as the voices of Tony Ballard as Mason Davis and Tamara Sullivan as Pike Anderson. We find the cast still in New York City as rehearsals are still underway for Betty's Broadway debut. More parents than debut, but you will entertain her, won't you? Where it's brunch time at Betty's favorite little spot she's grown accustomed to eating, drinking, hot chocolate, everyone, that sits right across the street from the theater. Let's join Pike Anderson as she steps into the establishment to join your friend and mine, Betty Gray. Hey, Anderson. Rachel will be here in a minute. I went on and ordered us some orange juice all around.
Coffee?
No! I don't even want it on the table. I don't trust you taking a whiff of it. I ordered us some doctored up hot chocolate.
What's it doctored up with?
Don't say the... You know what? Miss Dennis, change that order from 3 to 2.
You mean you know the waitress by name already? You've only been here for 20 minutes.
After a couple of these hot toddy chocolates, you know everyone on a first-name basis.
The waitress was drinking too? Why, Miss Dennis.
Name. Now, let's continue. Fill them up and fill them out. Well, excuse me, sir. This isn't that kind of a show. I'm not that kind of a girl, and this isn't that kind of establishment.
Where's Rachel?
She's been held up.
What? Call the police. Somebody get some help.
We're all entitled to our Gracie Allen moments.
Another cup of Maxwell House coffee, George.
But now is not one of them. Pipe down, Pike. Rachel is being detained by Harvey down at the theater. I convinced Harvey to see if he can get Rachel in on the payroll as one of the script girls.
You have that kind of clout already?
I wouldn't admit this to anybody but you, Anderson, and I ain't too sure about that. But I don't. Harvey does. The best way into that situation is to make sure you have enough clout to deal with the man who deals with the man dealing with things.
How do you do that?
I can run faster than he can.
Wow. I'm sure there's a meaning to that far exceeds my small-town comprehension.
I'm sure there is, too. Then here's Rach now. Over here, Rachel.
I see. You're the only person I know who travels around with props.
Props? The glasses and the silverware came with the table.
I'm speaking less of the dishes and more of the kissing booth set up behind you.
Kissing? Please, sir. I'm not that kind of a girl. This isn't that kind of establishment, and the booth has been closed since breakfast.
Betty, vagina.
Fine, then I'll cut a rug.
Hi. What are you writing down?
My first story on Betty Gray. Of course. I've got to understand what she's talking about if I plan to explain to the readers what I'm writing.
Don't worry, Anderson. That's what I'm here for. If there's anything you don't understand, tell me and I'll put you wise.
There was something the cab driver said on the way over.
What was it? I'm going to act like I didn't hear what I thought I heard, even though I'm pretty sure I heard it.
What did you hear?
I don't know.
That bad?
Worse.
What did he say?
I can't repeat it.
Ooh. Wow. Yep.
It's so interesting, and yet I don't even know what they're saying.
Let's eat first. Then we can discuss the innuendos later.
Sounds fine to me. I wonder if they have any of those small cornbread pieces to go over your salad.
Corn? Bread? Pieces?
Yeah, the tiny, hard ones.
The
Where are you going?
Find another hot chocolate. You know, the strong, tall one. After that, guys and dolls, gents and dames, I must acclaim, aloud to this crowd, I could not stay at the table with Anderson's shenanigans any longer. Cornbread indeed. Red. I I made an escape to spend some time with you and bring you some news that I hope is refreshing. No messing around with nonsense. Here we go, hidey-ho, 1, 2, 3, and all that's good, you know. It's time for News Flash with Betty Gray.
My mama done told me when I was in need.
Flash. After playing for several years in Cleveland and Buffalo, the band Chickasaw Syncopators began a professional career in 1929, which led to an important engagement at the Cotton Club Harlem in 1934. Proving to be a busy year, the group recorded 2 of its hits, Jazzmocracy and White Heat, with arrangements by Will Hudson. With an immediate attraction to audiences, by 1935, the group, now called Jimmy Lunsford's Orchestra, achieved the national reputation of outstanding black swing band. After much success and a distinctive 2-beat swing at medium-tempo style, there emerged what was to be known as the Lunsford style, thanks a la the highly imaginative arrangements of the group's trumpeter, Cy Oliver. Jimmy Lunsford, born June 6, 1902, collapsed and dies at the age of 45 from cardiac arrest during an autograph session while playing in Seaside, Oregon, July 12, 1947. It's always my pleasure to bring you a treasure full of I bet you didn't know this moments. And this promises to be one of them. With a lot of chalk talk about the Lone Ranger, recently I decided to do my own research after what I saw. Nothing more needs to be said about that. But to make a somewhat rather long story short, growing up in a Lone Ranger briefed family, as one's own father has stated, quote, growing up in the 1940s, he thought he was the Lone Ranger. Stick horse, mask, and all. I hold a fondness for the franchise and feel sincere about the way it's treated or trashed. Nothing else needs to be said more about that. But be that as it may, the most interesting fact that I discovered was the Lone Ranger inspired by former slave Bass Reeves. With the original, the Lone Ranger premiered on radio 1932 from Detroit, which is where many of those arrested by Reeves served their time, in the Detroit Federal Penitentiary. According to the book, Black Gun, Silver Star, The Life and Legend of Frontier Marshal Bass Reeves by Art T. Burton, it is said that, quote, it was common practice for Reeves to work in disguise while trying to capture fugitives from justice, a la the Lone Ranger, who wore a black mask. Also, going on to state, quote, we all know that the Lone Ranger's calling card was the silver bullet. Quite possibly, Reeves was the silver dollar, thus mentioned after Burton gives the account of Reeves using silver dollars on others on a regular basis. Most revealing of all, though, Reeves often rode a horse that appeared to be gray or white. How silver! Now, know something else? Quote, federal law mandated that deputy U.S. Marshals have at least one posse man with him whenever he went out in the field. I'll give you one guess. Kimosabi. So true or untrue, you do some reading of your own and please tell us about it. We'd like to know. Sometimes we must keep things simple. This, my friends, may not be the case in one of them if Anderson has anything to do with it. Cornbread! She said cornbread. The little hard pieces of cornbread. I just don't quite... This has been Newsflash with Betty Gray.
5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it. There's a call for Betty Gray.
For me? But I'm just getting ready to do my number. I can't come to the phone now.
Says it's long distance. Something about a Babe Wallace feature spot.
What? Yes. Hello? This is Gray Betty, Grim Grumble, Good Gray, Bet Your Life, Gray. This is that girl. Betty, it's me. Hi. Anderson? What in the phone call are you doing on this wire? Don't you know I ran over 2 stagehands, a bucket of mop water, 8 costume racks, a trunk, a silk crate, and climbed up a ladder rotating the opposite direction?
Really? What was in the trunk?
Goodbye, Anderson.
No, really.
Yeah.
No, really. Don't hang up. She caught something.
Unless it's a good-looking man and his twicely nicely attractive male friend, I'm not interested.
I think it's serious.
What, you think I'm kidding?
Honestly. You've got to get down here, Betty. She's breaking out all over.
About time. I've been trying to get her to break out of her shell for years.
Betty!
Okay. I don't know what I'm going to explain this to the director, though. He'll probably have my job for this one. Darn it. Just when I had the lead in my hand.
Gee, Betty, you were handed the lead?
Almost. All I had to do was yank the cord and the part would have been mine. I had it all rigged for the trap. I had it right in my hand. All right, Anderson. I'm on my way.
Yes. Can I have a couple of more bottles of alcohol, please? What is that? Rubbing? Yeah, if it comes with it, why not? Betty? Oh, hey, Betty.
Oh, hello, Mason.
What a coincidence seeing you here at the drugstore.
What's so coincidental about it?
I'm here,
Hmm?
and you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
Aren't we? Mason, how many of these rubbing alcohol bottles have you purchased?
That's what the druggist keeps calling them. But it hasn't rubbed off on me yet. You know, I'm a padding man myself.
You go right on thinking that, Mason. You sweet little mind, you. My goodness. Look at it. Cinnamon spaghetti. What do you know about that? Wait a minute. That's a man. Boy, if you think Frank Sinatra is skinny, that kid'll give James Stewart a run for his money. And I ain't never seen no sequoia walking, except for the great giraffe. Henry Fonda and John Carradine sure had a long way to go.
Well, Betty, so long.
I just can't get over this kid. He's trying to put on some weight, too. 14 hamburgers and 8 milkshakes. I haven't seen a diet like that since Fats Waller. One never knows, does one?
All right, Betty. Well, you know, it was nice seeing you.
I'm sorry, I don't do maid service, and yet I detect a slight sweep of a brush off. Wait a minute. Mason, what are you doing in the drugstore? I know you look upon the drugstore as Louis Armstrong looks onto his trumpet, as Charlie McCarthy looks onto Bergen, as Bing Crosby looks onto his horses. To you, the institution of the malt shop and pharmaceuticals is the best thing since fitness found fat. But there are two things for sure. A chocolate malt with whipped cream, chocolate syrup, and sprinkles doesn't qualify as a healthy protein shake, with or without the cherries on top. And secondly, whenever there is anyone that thin with a heavy dose of food in front of them, or vice versa, Mason Davis is in the mix of the dough.
All right. You found me out, okay? I'm going to use the kid in the fight match, okay? They're having him over in Brooklyn.
When? 2 years from Tuesday?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow? Have you gone crazy? This isn't even like, have you lost your mind completely? Do you have no sense whatsoever?
There is $1,000 pot in it for the winner. Okay, the kid is up against a skinnier kid than him.
Are you short a trainer, promoter? I wouldn't even ask for 60% out of 50 cents will do nicely.
Okay, baby. Now that you mention it, there is a job that I have for you. Wait, it's not that kind of job, Betty. Okay? It's one that will bring in money. Okay? Bent just slightly in a sort of way.
Oh, okay. Well, does it involve gangsters, mobsters, someone wanting a piece of the action? No. Well, I guess I'll do it anyway. What is it?
Wait a minute. What are you doing at the drugstore?
Anderson called me out of rehearsal to pick up some bandages for Rachel. Rachel! Oh my goodness! I gotta go. I was supposed to be there 20 minutes ago.
Betty, you haven't been in here that long.
I know. I had to take care of some business before I left the theater. I had the part in the palm of my hands, and I wasn't going to let go now. Well, gotta go racing. Gotta go racing, Mason. Tell me all about your idea later, huh?
Sure thing, Betty. All right, skinny Ennis, let's go to the gym.
gone from bad to worse.
From breakout to outbreak. Pike, what's happened to you?
Poison ivy.
Okay. In a New York hotel room? Pray tell.
I can't explain it. I don't even know if I understand it myself. The cab driver had me all mixed up.
Cab driver?
Yeah, he told me something in the cab drive over to meet Betty this morning at the cafe. I didn't think the deal was quite kosher, so I hopped out of the cab and walked the rest of the way.
By way of the Amazon?
Central Park.
Heavenly days, McGee. Well, what did the cab driver say to you? I'm going to act like I didn't hear that. But I thought I heard, even though I'm pretty sure I heard it.
What did you hear?
I don't know.
That bad?
Worse.
What did he say to me?
I can't repeat it.
How do you like that? 3 times in one day, and I still find it so interesting, and yet I don't even know what they're saying.
Well, here's the stuff you asked me to bring over to you for Rachel. I thought Betty was supposed to bring the supplies over to you.
She was, and she did, sort of, after my attack.
Ambush?
We had to send her back there.
Huh?
Pike, who's at the door?
It's me, Rachel. I have the antidote right here.
Gee, I didn't even know there was an antidote for food poisoning.
Well, it's not on the market. It's a concoction that I mixed up on my own. It's a dose of getright-o-tophous, with 2 spoons of anti-toldyounottoeatthat-form, and, a little bit of letsnipthisinthebud-hydrogen. With just a pinch of cider.
Wow! Your skin's all cleared up. Hand me that bottle.
Pike, no!
It's alive! It's alive!
What happened to me? I feel funny.
Hey, if you saw yourself, you wouldn't be laughing. All right, ladies. I'm back with the supplies for Anderson. What in the world? I can't leave you guys for a minute without... Oh! It's alive! It's alive!
I don't feel so good. I feel a little queasy.
And you look a little cheesy, dearie.
Months old cheese. You're turning green.
Pike, that wasn't for poison ivy. It was for food poisoning. Strictly.
Cyanide?
Slightly.
Strychnine?
Somewhat.
Stomach pump.
Immediately.
Good night, everybody. Again, tonight, signs off with Rights On with another all-new episode next week. So be sure to tune in with your family and friends here at our broadcasting channel, Dominic Review. Tonight's voices were provided by Jasmine Lofton as Rachel Ellis Hagen, Tamara Solomon as Pike Anderson, Tony Ballard as Mason Davis, and yours truly, Dominique Breckenridge as Betty Gray. Reminding you that all of the women's wardrobe in tonight's broadcast were provided by my line, Dominic Private Collection. This has been a Dominic Review production. Good night, everybody! Roger that. That was lovely. And Tamara Lofton. Why did I call you a second week? Oh, really? Yes. And I called you Tamara Lofton. It flows so beautifully. Do you want to be adopted or? Okay, right.
Sure, why not?
Moving on.
Call the police. Somebody got
the police.
That's long distance. Something about some dame in Wallace feature spot.
Something about a Babe Wallace feature spot. That's okay. It took me a second. I'm like, what? Okay. So just pick it up from says it's long distance. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'll be right back. What?
We're holding on.
What in the world? Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be go down.
All right. Start back at yes, can I? Have some now?
All right, here we go.
That's what the druggist keeps calling them, but okay, let's start over.
The druggie.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wait. Start back at Mason.
Okay. Mason, how many of these rubbing alcohol bottles have you purchased?
No, that's what the druggist keeps calling them, but it hasn't rubbed off yet. I'm patting on myself. Wait a minute.
Are you now? I'm a patting man myself.
A patting man myself. Wow.
Do you know anything about this?
Let's believe.
Okay.
Let's
Wow. Okay. I'm a late bloomer.
Mason.
Oh, wait. He ain't back here yet. He's still in the taxi cab.
Oh, okay.
On his way over.
Stuff that you're asking me to bring over to Rachel. I thought Betty was supposed. Wow.
Okay. We're almost there.
Well. Sorry, I just keep saying well at the same time. Well, Pike, no. Sorry. One more time. Hand me that bottle.
Be very aggressive. Hand me that bottle.
Pike, that was not for poison ivy. It was for food poisoning. Wow.
Food? What else could let that one go?
Food poisoning. It was for food poisoning.
Food poisoning.
Strictly. Okay, mozzarella cheese, your turn, girl.
My face for a while.
Here we go.